And you can see that in both stories, that both Abraham and Mary heard God, believed God, obeyed God, and partnered with God. So with Abraham, in the first 2 verses in Genesis 22, God calls out to Abraham and tells him that he wants his son to be sacrificed, and he'll tell him where to go. Abraham believed and obeyed God, because in the 3rd verse it says he got up the next morning to go do what the Lord said. Jesus. In Hebrews 11:17 through 19, it says it was by faith that Abraham offered Isaac as a sacrifice when God was testing him. Abraham, who had received God's promises, was ready to sacrifice his only son Isaac, even though God had told him Isaac is the son through whom your descendants would be counted. Abraham just reasoned that if Isaac died, God was able to bring him back to life. And in a sense, Abraham did receive his son back from the dead. This means that between the night before he went and the 3-day journey to go to the place where God told him to be, Abraham was reasoning, why is God asking me to do this? Didn't he just promised me this son, and I had to wait a long time to get him. And I made some mistakes along the way, but now he's finally here. This is my son with Sarah, whom I love. Okay, you know what? No, God has already promised me so much. He's promised me that my descendants are coming through him. That's it. He just wants to do the miraculous because he can't go back on his word. He's just that good. Right. Because God promised his unfailing love to me and my descendants. He wouldn't do anything to hurt me. Just because this seems contrary, he's just going to raise him back from the dead. That's it. That's it. I'm just going to go do it. And so in him obeying God, he partnered with God in his redemption plan in Jesus Christ. Not only in the event, but in the covenant that follows in verses 17 and 18. And your offspring, we're talking about Jesus, shall possess the gate of his enemies. He took the keys to death, hell, and the grave. Come on now. Because he's so good. Come on. And in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed because you have obeyed my voice. Jesus is the exalted one. God is talking about Jesus and that offspring by Abraham partnering with God. It was through Jesus, whose earthly mother was a descendant of Abraham, that we and all the nations of the earth are blessed. And in Mary's story, you can clearly see that she was partnering with God in his redemption plan in Jesus. She anointed Jesus for his burial. Now, this is a very deliberate event. Like, this isn't something like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to go over here and anoint this man for his burial. No. God said that her deeds would be remembered. Anywhere that the good news is preached, she's a part of the good news. Jesus. If you're a part of the good news, you partnered with God. Jesus. Because in John 12:27, Jesus said, this is the very reason. Should I ask that I be saved from this hour? No, this is the very reason. The very reason that I came into this world. And so she partnered with God to anoint Jesus for his burial. And how can one partner with God if one does not obey God? And how can one obey God if he doesn't believe God? And how can one believe God's command if he's never heard God? So we know that Mary heard, she believed, she obeyed, and she partnered with God. Jesus. And in partnering with God, we see the result of this best oil being produced in them. We're still reaping that benefit today.